Crazy things are happening. Crazy things are happening. This is a story of a couple, a man and a woman, and their son. The man discovered that his child is not his through DNA. And this is what the court has to say. You're welcome to my channel. I'm Ami React. Over here, I do reactions and all that good stuff. So please do well by liking this video. Please do well by subscribing to my channel. I don't know if you watch this channel, the Justice Court here on YouTube. Very interesting channels where they bring matters. The Judge Fumi Asaolu, gives her judgment, and I will give it to her that most of her judgments are fair. But this is the story of the man you'll be seeing on the screen and the woman you'll also be seeing on the screen. How this man, one day, the father had a dream that his son isn't his. After the father had that dream that the son isn't his, he went for a DNA test without informing the wife. After going for that DNA test, he discovered that the child isn't his. And then he confronted the wife. And the wife replied saying that, why didn't you inform me you want to do a DNA test? According to the wife, she said this has brought a lot of rift in their marriage. This has brought a lot of rift in the family. And they have brought this case to Justice Court to be settled. This is the wife I spoke about earlier. The Honorable Justice required, or let's say she asked the couple to do a fresh paternity DNA. There are two types of DNA. There's a maternity DNA, there's a paternity DNA. Maternity DNA is to confirm if the mother of the child is the real mother, while the paternity DNA to confirm if the father of the child is the real father. The paternity DNA came out and it is giving the man is not the father of the child. And now, when the justice asked the lady, which other men have you been with? You can go to their channel and watch the full video there. Which other men have you been with? She said she has not been with any other man apart from her husband. And now the judge adjourned the case, requesting the woman to go for a maternity test. Now let me explain. When she goes for a maternity test, if it comes out positive, meaning she's the true mother of the child, that means she cheated on her husband. But if she comes out negative, it means she is not the true mother of that child, meaning her child was swapped in the hospital. So this case is a very dicey case and two things are involved. Number one, either paternity fraud is involved in this case or child being swapped in the hospital. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think really happened in this case? Do you think this is a case of maternity fraud, or do you think this is a case of the child being swapped in the hospital? I went through the comment section and I started seeing gist of people saying that the man, which is Mr. Steve, wrote on his Twitter account that the woman has refused to submit herself for the maternity DNA test. We don't know how true this is. We are waiting patiently for the part 2 of this story because I am invested in it and I want to know what really happened. If what Mr. Steve is saying on Twitter is true, that the woman has refused to submit herself for the maternity DNA, then that obviously means that this is indeed a case of paternity fraud. What causes paternity fraud? Paternity fraud is when a woman goes to, have a child for a particular man and then take the child and give it to another man. Do you think it is a crime? Do you think it is something that should not be encouraged, or is something that should be encouraged? For me, I would say it is something that should not be encouraged. You know why? That feeling of you raising a child that is not yours. That is the feeling the man will have. And that's the same feeling a woman will have when she has a child and she discovers later on that the child is not hers. No woman will be happy that her child was swapped in the hospital and her original child is not what she nurtured. And also, if for any reason a woman is pregnant and the child is not for the husband should be aware Although that's already showing a woman that has, gone to Kokere. But the husband should be out here. It is not something you should, hide from your husband. And if this is a case of maternity fraud, meaning during the time of this childbirth, the hospital swapped the child. And that is why I always encourage women, I always encourage my audience, whenever you go to the hospital to have your baby, do not go alone. Especially if you live here in Nigeria. In the diaspora, once you give birth, your baby is tagged with you. Now one, there's no way they can even swap your child. But if you give birth here in Nigeria, especially private hospitals, government hospitals, in fact, no hospital is to be trusted now. Lots of things are going on in this country. Men, if your wife is pregnant, do not allow her go into labor alone. Because most times after delivery, be it vaginal or C-section, most women are not active. Most women cannot even remember what is happening. They are fighting pains, fighting emotions. They don't even know when one doctor will swap the child or when the doctor will just take another child and give to her. So if you're watching this video and your mom is pregnant, your sister is pregnant, your wife is pregnant, make sure you go with them to the hospital. Do not allow them go alone. This case is a very dicey case. We cannot wait for the part 2. When we get the part 2, then we will know what really happened. Now, some comments are saying that the woman's face, through her facial expression, it is giving she's guilty vibe. To me, I would agree with that comment 70%, because even before the honorable justice started asking her questions, her body language was already she was already giving vibe of she's not sure. Like this person said, nice one, George. Once the DNA is negative between the woman and the child, then the hospital has questions to answer. Yes. Even when the justice was, asking her, she wasn't firm with her answer. She wasn't firm with her answer, because I know if if I'm sure that I did not sleep with somebody else and DNA result comes out negative, hey, I'll first cut that cut small. But people react differently. So let us give this lady the benefit of doubt when the maternity test comes out. If it comes out positive, then truly the father has, been played all this while. But if it comes out negative, then the hospital should be held accountable. My people, what do you think about this case? If you're not subscribed to Justice Court here on YouTube, do so. They have interesting stories that you will enjoy, and I'll be reacting more on their stories, okay? Thanks for watching till this very point, my beautiful people. This one says, some of the stories of child swap is rampant. I hope this family is not a victim. Same here. That's why we cannot wait for the part 2. Do all to like, do all to subscribe, my beautiful people. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.